Drone Sword here, coming back to you with another LEGO review. Today we have the LEGO official set, the Crocodile. What a cool locomotive, designed and originally built in Switzerland in the early 20s, if I recall correctly. The class had quite a few built, and they weren't exactly the fastest engines, but they were built for torque, and they're pretty iconic in terms of in terms of that silhouette. Now, the model is quite cool. It's a very fun build. It's 7 studs wide. At its widest, pretty sure it's almost 8, where some of the handrails and stuff overhang in the sides. Otherwise it is 7 studs. The detailing is quite nice. It fits. It works. It looks amazing. I mean, the pantographs are movable. You can position them. And then unfortunately they're not automatic, but I mean it isn't a line-out train with electrified and fully automatic pantographs, but it's a Lego, so I mean you gotta do what you can. So I guess that's okay. My biggest qualm with the train is that if you wanted to motorize it with the powered up system, you had to remove the details inside. There was a bunch of really cool stuff in the cab where you could put the minifigures and stuff, but you want to run the train, you gotta you gotta make sacrifices, and you got to accept that you're stuck with just the powered up stuff, and you can't put any people inside. But that's a shame. Rip. The other unfortunate thing is there is this gap here between the hoods on each end. That is a shame. But it doesn't look that bad. I mean, come on. It's not worth really fixing, in my opinion, because I just like running the darn thing. I do like the detailing on the top, as I mentioned before. The wires, and the interesting choice of using the whips, or what would be like a Catwoman's whip, but colored red. That was a cool choice that they did on their part. In terms of the engine running, it overall runs pretty decent. It's surprisingly powerful. Unfortunately, it really does lug down when you're pulling a really long train, but I guess that's to be expected. And I mean, what's amazing though is it has the torque to be able to even pull the darn thing. Most Lego engines, even if you have 2 motor modules on them, they just wheel slip. This thing doesn't wheel slip. It just sits right there, and it grips the track. It's quite nice. The little stand it came with is quite nice as well. It's pretty cool. What I found, if you get this set and you're gonna be building it, build these 2 pieces at the same time. It's way easier. That's what I did. I built them side by side, and it cut the time to build the darn thing down quite a bit. So that was nice. I will say that when you carry it, make sure you disconnect the ends, because I was carrying it assembled one time and it fell on the ground, and that was not fun. Not fun at all. The sounds they have in the powered up app are pretty cool. It's quite fun to run it like that. I usually hook my phone up to a Bluetooth speaker when I run the darn thing, so I can blow the whistle, ring the bell as it comes through the station. I'll ring the bell, and then I'll do the it isn't prototypically accurate for Switzerland, but I do the American railroad crossing signature where 2 longs, a short and a long, and you have the bell ringing. So that's fun for me as a citizen of the United States, someone who lives in America. I do the American whistle conventions, 2 toots for forward, 3 for reverse, etc. But it's quite the cool engine. It's just cool looking. It's beautiful. I also love what they did over here with these curved pieces, adding more detail, sort of like on the actual buffers and the actual European type of couplers with the chains and links and stuff. So it looks almost a little more realistic. Now, I remember when I was watching reviews of this train from other people before I bought it, people were saying it was having trouble going around switch tracks and it was derailing. I really haven't had that issue. I just make sure to drive it over switches slowly. Because, I mean, with big articulated engines like this, you got to just be careful. Some people said that what they did to fix it was they removed the traction rubbers here. But I decided against that because I actually like seeing these spin, and I wouldn't want the coupling rods to not spin, because, I mean, come on, that's the whole part of the look. Part of the look is watching the rods spin on this particular model. So, I mean, hey, yeah, that's what it is. But it is a cool engine, and it runs great. I will show some running footage of this now. All right, we are back at my railroad. Something I'd like to mention though is that I had to elevate this here, the over shelter part of the Lego City station set that was released several years ago. I had to elevate it in order to get the pantographs to be able to fit through, even though they just barely fit. And it's to the point where I really, yeah, let me back it up real quick. I can't really even raise them to the point that I'd like to. So it doesn't even make sense to raise them on this layout because of that. So that's a shame. It is what it is though. I mean, obviously this model is designed to be running on a more professional layout than my culmination of childhood Lego City sets and other odds and ends. So, and the one Star Wars set and a bunch of other things. But that isn't too big of an issue. I mean, the pantographs still look cool even when they're down. So looking down here, we have the control rig that I have set up. It's actually an induction speaker that I use. We have the main throttle in the center. We have the brake. That's cool. And as you bring it partially, like if you partially apply it, you could the train will slow down accordingly, which is actually pretty cool. So you can even just like partially apply it, and then like the train will just slow down from whatever speed it's at. We have a speedometer over here that shows speed and a couple of other things. And of course, we have the station whistle, the bell, and of course that locomotive whistle. All right, so let's get this train rolling. We'll just get cruising nice and slow out of the station. This engine crawls really nice. It's pretty cool. That is max speed. That is max speed of locomotive. Mind you, I've run this engine quite a bit, so these batteries are possibly, well, they're not full. So, and considering that Powered Up doesn't have a rechargeable battery set yet, you're not going to get as good performance as you would, say, the old Power Functions rechargeable. Or even the fake Mold King rechargeable packs. Low battery, 5% remaining on the iPad. Awesome. Yeah, that is the other issue. With Powered Up, as soon as you close the app or, like a window comes up, train stops running. So that's awesome. Gotta love it. show the brakes at the freight depot over here.